My name is Rose. I am an occupational therapist and a transformation coach. I work with first-generation women who are on their entrepreneur journey and also their self-discovery journey. I help them make transformational change on a cognitive level, on a subconscious level, and also changes in their lineage as it relates to generational healing. I help them to show up as the best version of themselves and to be the most self-expressed descendant in their lineage. For us to be descendants of immigrants, to be daughters of immigrants, we understand the sacrifices that were made for us to be here. And we were very fortunate enough to have the access to opportunities to find fulfillment, to find purpose, to find meaning. So I'm here to support all of that. The other thing I wanted to acknowledge today is that we lost two elders who were really significant in the way that we are showing up in the world, supporting us being authentic and us finding generational healing, especially as Black women. The first is Elder Patrice Somé. If you have not heard of him or read any of his books, I highly recommend you go do that. He was really pivotal in my healing journey and my journey in becoming a coach for other people. The other elder that we lost is Bell Hooks. There just aren't enough words to capture, but she dared to tell us that we could be loved and gave us a vision for ourselves, future casting the endless possibilities for us. So again, if you have not heard of her, I would highly recommend you get her books and Elder Maladoma's books as well. So the first announcement I wanted to share is that I have published a workbook. It's called My Wellbeing Workbook. And I put all sorts of goodies and nuggets in here. I put guided prompts. There are little quizzes. There are inventories. There are creative spaces for you to open up and share. Also space for you to be introspective and space for you to make changes in your life. I also put ways for you to create goals in your life and also take better care of your mind and your body. So there's a section on looking at symptoms of your body that you may have been ignoring and stress response patterns. It's got a lot of great gems on bridging the gap between science and self-care. So if you haven't already, please go get yourself a copy. All right, so I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna talk about stress responses and the comparison to that and work habits. As Black women, we work hard. Like we're the hardest working people on the planet, and we do it with such ease. And at the same time, it does take a toll on us. There are some silent struggles that we experience, our silent struggles that our bodies are taking the toll for. And really, it does impact the well-being of our health, particularly the organs inside, like heart disease, fibroids, diabetes. So those are all stress-induced diseases. And we have the ability and the choice to make changes in that, in the way that we show up and the way that we work. And so while a lot of those habits of working hard all the time, being on our grind, those were things and still are things that we're, supported for and encouraged in doing. It doesn't serve us to do that and work that way anymore. There's a different way of working. We can work with balance. So what happens with us having worked that long for decades and years, working all the time, like waking up in the morning, the first thing we're on the go, going for 12, 13, 14 hours, and then still working and then crashing to go to sleep. Doing that for decades, that teaches your brain and your body that you are past overworking. You're past stressed out. You're in survival mode. That's what your brain and your body interpret that as. It doesn't interpret it as you're just a little bit stressed. A little bit stressed shouldn't be decades of overworking. That's not a little bit stressed. That is survival. So when you're in survival mode, your brain is going to look for dangers. It's going to look to solve any problems that it perceives as dangers. And so that's why it shows up as you overthinking all the time. So if your brain is constantly on, like when you're trying to go to sleep and thoughts are just running, that is your survival brain trying to keep you alive, going through all the problems to try to solve when you're trying to rest. The other thing is that when you're in survival brain, your body doesn't want you to rest. Like it needs to make sure that you're running away from the perceived danger. It thinks that you're in danger. So there's no time to rest. So you're probably going to feel more anxious. You're going to experience more tightness in your upper body, in your jaw. You might be grinding your teeth. You might have reduced flexibility when you go to work out because your body is ready to keep you alive and safe. So that's actually called the flight response, the one that I just described to you. And that one is the one that I see more common. There's also fight response, which is somebody who's incredibly argumentative and very controlling and very angry all the time. That is a stress response, not just a personality trait. So if you see this kind of person at work, that's not it, that's a neurological stress response that they're having. And so the way to combat that, because that is the biggest problem when we're talking about the flight response, which looks like you're a workaholic, you're a perfectionist, you're always dependable, you're always overthinking. The way to slow that down is to actually teach your body, reteach your body how to be at rest. And I already know that some of you are probably have a hard time even resting or even taking a break. Like when you take a break, you can't even sit still because you feel like there's something else for you to be doing. Like, so you literally have to retrain your body to rest or slow down. And the way that you do that is you schedule times during your day to slow down. And this is actually like one of the first things that I do with my clients is we're going to take 3 times during the day, when you first wake up, lunchtime and dinner time, or dinner or bedtime, and you're going to schedule downtime. We start at 15-minute intervals, and then you increase it up to 30 minutes. And you are literally not going to add anything to that time. You're not going to be on social media. You're not going to do busy work. You're not going to try to make yourself busy. You're going to use those 3 opportunities to recalibrate your mind and your body to know rest. So what do you do during those times? So this is one of those things where you look at those memes that are like, oh, you're a human being, not a human doing. But nobody tells you, it teaches you how to be a human being. So the way that you do that, the way that you try to slow your nervous system down and your brain down, is you can sit in silence, or you can use music, get a playlist of some slow songs that are low beat, or have steady rhythms, or have some smooth vocals on there. The other thing you can do is you can listen to some guided meditation. When you have someone's voice talking to you, it gives you something to focus on. And so it reduces your stress response and then allows your body to relax. The other added benefit of that is that when you are stressed, you've got the stress hormones, the cortisols that are coursing through your body. Cortisol also affects your ability to lose weight. So not only does it help you to get ready to fight, flight, or flee, but it also makes sure that you retain as much fat as possible to sustain and to be alive. So for people who are trying to lose weight and are workaholics, it's going to be harder because you've got so much cortisol. So it would actually behoove you, if you're trying to lose weight, to schedule that downtime as part of your work-life schedule, because then you'll actually start to see real changes in your neurological and your body's ability to lose weight, and you won't have to work as hard. So in the book, I do have a section in there on the stress responses. If this is new knowledge and new topic and new terms for you, then the My Wellbeing Workbook would be a great introduction for that. If you're somebody who's already familiar with your nervous system response and how your brain works, and you want to learn how to recalibrate that, then, working with me as a coach, that would really help you. I can help you specifically with your areas and how your body works, because everybody's is different. And so everybody's prescription is not going to be the same. So even these recommendations for doing yoga and deep breathing, that's not always appropriate for certain people. Like if a person has been in stress response for decades and they have not practiced deep breathing, their lung muscles are going to be really tight. And so deep breathing will actually hurt. And deep breathing will actually be difficult for them to actually physiologically do. That's something they're going to have to work into. When they say things like, just sit in silence, that's something that's very difficult to do, because if for decades you have not sat in silence, just forcing yourself to sit in silence is not realistic. And so when you're not successful, you're less likely to try the downtime again. So in any case, if anyone has any questions, put them in the comments. That is all that I have for you today. I will try to come on Wellness Wednesdays, although people who know me and the clients that I work with know that my goal for you and my intention for you is that wellness is an everyday practice, that it's not just relegated to Wellness Wednesday or Self-Care Sunday, that it's really a practice that you do every single day of your life. I'm going to look to see if there are any questions. Okay, well, thanks for joining me, you guys. Here's the book again. It's called the My Wellbeing Workbook by Rose-Stella, Pierre-Louis. That's me. And you can get your copy at Amazon. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.